Ryan Kesler watching. Brad Boyes looks to the net. Tkachuk still screening. Oshie slides it in, tipped, and Luongo got a piece of that. Tkachuk got his stick on it. Andy McDonald now looks towards the net. One-timer by Boyes. Ryan Kesler blocked it. Backes hustles to the puck. Kesler goes down. Boyes moves in, shoots, and he missed the net. Puck comes hard to the line. Oshie hustled and kept it in. Now he moves in. Brad Boyes, TJ Oshie, McDonald, Tkachuk still at the goal mouth. Across the ice to Boyes. Oshie, Boyes shoots, blocked again by Ryan Kesler. Here's Brad Boyes again. David Backes off a skate. These penalty killers must be fatigued. Oshie moves back in. Andy McDonald can't get it by Willie Mitchell. Here's Brad Boyes, stutter step. TJ Oshie fakes. Can't get the puck to McDonald. That was blocked by Burrows. Andy McDonald. Brad Boyes shoots. He missed the net again. They're late in the 5-on-3. Oshie holds the puck in again. Starts towards the net. Boyes can't one-time it. Backes shoots. Luongo stops him. And after all of that, and a great penalty kill, Tkachuk will go off. But the fans are standing, applauding Kesler, Burrows, and Mitchell, and Luongo, the penalty killers.
Well, I mentioned before about Luongo's ability to track the pass, and that's one there where he got a little bit of a late vision on it, but instead of having his perfect leg down across, he gets there in desperation and makes just a wonderful save. Watch him look to his right, then get across quickly to his left. Forget about technique there. Ryan Kesler, what do you do in these situations? You got to find a way to block the shot. Two big blocks by Kesler, and then another big save by Luongo. And Jim, a bad penalty by Keith Tkachuk. A frustrated penalty that you can't take, especially as one of your veteran leaders.
In 3 seconds, Matthias Ohlund gets back on. And keep in mind, Vancouver lost 2 of its top defensemen there on those penalties. Ohlund is back. It's 4-on-4. And in 15 seconds, Vancouver will go on a power play. A huge penalty kill. Daniel Sedin. Matthias Ohlund shoots, and Mason makes his first big save. Mike Weaver moved the puck quickly. Barrett Jackman. Here's Steen to James McClement, and he couldn't quite hold the pass. Then to the front of the net. Luongo steered that away. Here comes Daniel Sedin quickly to center. Vancouver's on a power play now. Henrik to Daniel Sedin into the slot. Pavel Demitra now. Daniel Sedin to Henrik. Demitra goes to the front of the net. Edler and Bieksa back at the blue line. Dimitra's in the slot. Bieksa stops, shoots. Mason makes the save. Jay McClement's after the puck, trying to move it up the boards. He can't get by Kevin Bieksa. Daniel for Henrik. Stopped by Mike Weaver. But a defensive play there. Henrik Sedin. Pavel Demitra. Daniel's in front of the net. Edler back at the blue line. Accepts the pass. Fires the shot. Oh, that hurt Jackman. Barrett Jackman blocked that. And I was thinking he wasn't getting up.
Yeah, I think he was maybe more shocked than anything, and then rallied from it, got off, and made the change.
Here they come on the power play again. Alexander Edler. Wellwood goes to the front of the net. The right-handed shot on the power play. Dimitra's there as well. Matt Sundin on the ice on this power play, unit 2. Alexander Edler trying to get the puck against B.J. Crombeen. Sundin just holds the line. No, he didn't. Didn't hold the line. The puck came out. Mike Civic made the call.
Well, we've seen already the commitment to blocking shots. Here comes Barrett Jackman right back on the ice. I was with you there, Jim. I thought it almost hit him in the face, but I think
he grabbed his face.
I think for anything more, it was just the shock, that quick deflection right in the throat. And look at that quick response, but he got right back up, right in the high shoulder area, went back down, and then it didn't hurt too bad, and here he is back on the ice again.
Only a flesh wound. That's playoff hockey. Vancouver still on the power play. Here's Matthias Ohlund. Rushes into the attacking zone. Gets bumped by Jay McKee. Steve Bernier. Pavel Demitra. Now around on the board. Sammy Salo pinched down to help keep the puck in. Demitra. Bernier's in front. The centering pass. Sprawling was McKee to block it. And he's been doing that since he came in the league.
That was a good desperation play, though. It left the Canucks player with no possibility of getting that puck through.
Tkachuk back on and heads for the bench. 5-on-5 again with frantic action. 1-0 Vancouver leading. Daniel Sedin has the goal. Steve Bernier got Mason Raymond with him, and Kyle Wellwood Raymond came in to help, twisting and turning, watched by Mike Weaver. Andy McDonald is back. David Perron has Brad Boyes with him as they start out to center. They're 2-on-2, so Perron shoots the puck in. Shane O'Brien, first man back. Willie Mitchell on David Perron. Looks up, turns, shoots. Luongo with the save. The rebound loose in the slot. Raymond is tripped up. There'll be a St. Louis penalty. David Perron just about scored. Now he's going to the penalty box, and Vancouver's going back to the power play. First, he gets a terrific chance to score. Luongo stops him. Then he takes a penalty, tripping Mason Raymond on Hockey Night in Canada.
Make playoff hockey.
With the Canucks set to go on the power play, it's TJ Oshie of the Blues in our Subway restaurant Spio. When you see him in the Blues room, looks like someone's brought their kid to the game. He's at the forefront, though, of the youth movement that has the Blues in the playoffs. They were chanting his name at the Scott Trade Center when he scored that highlight reel goal on a Blues 4-2 win in late March. That'd be a candidate for goal of the year. Be surprising, though, Jim, if he got that much room to work in a playoff game.
He can make a lot of room, too, because he'll hit as well as dangle. TJ stands for Tim Jr., and he's from about an hour and a half south of here, Mount Vernon, Washington, the Everett area. So he played a lot of hockey, minor hockey, in Vancouver. Vancouver's power play wins the draw. Henrik Sedin got it. Sammy Salo to Daniel Sedin, to Henrik Sedin for Bernier in front. Jackman blocked away. Sarah Jackman up the boards. Bieksa threw himself to the boards to keep the puck in. Henrik Sedin centering. Mike Weaver cleared. McClement couldn't get the puck out, but following him is High Note, and he clears it. The Sedins and Steve Bernier with Sammy Salo and Kevin Bieksa on this power play unit. Penalty killers have changed up. Alex Steen and BJ Crombeen come on with Weaver and Jackman. And the penalty killers beat the wave of power play forecheckers, so there'll be a new power play.
And just a little indecision in the neutral zone with the Canucks coming up ice. And Salo forced to just shoot it in really to nobody.
Ryan Kessler in after the puck. Polak trying to check him. Sundin was there, though. Wellwood for Pavel Demitra. He bobbled the puck at the line, and it's offside. Well, St. Louis is given credit for having the better power play overall in the season. Since about the 1st of February, when both of these teams got red hot, Vancouver's power play has actually been better.
Well, and you think of the personnel, you have so many different options, and it really creates a challenge for the St. Louis Blues. Who do you try to shut down? I mean, you start focusing on the Sedins, and you've got that cross-crease pass, and also the defense of the Vancouver Canucks very involved in the offense.
TJ Oshie out killing this penalty. With David back as they got a beauty of a shorthanded goal together in a 4-2 win over Vancouver the last time these two teams met. Ryan Kessler weaves into the attacking zone. Wellwood, Edler, Pavel Demitra fires a shot. McKee blocked that. Off the side of his ankle, and he doesn't appear to be phased at all. Maybe worried that he broke a skate blade.
Oh, so much attention, Jim, on that man, Matt Sundin. He's by far the most experienced in the playoffs for this Vancouver team. And, you know, since coming here, he's gone through some ups and downs. He struggled down the stretch, putting the puck in the net. No goals in his last 13. But this is really, when you think about depth-wise, why the Vancouver Canucks wanted him. They wanted somebody else who had good playoff experience. He could add that secondary scoring, and we'll see if he can do that here.
Henrik waved out. Daniel came in, and the Canucks still got the draw. Daniel stopped by Chris Mason. They got a little post, too. Bieksa fires a shot. There's a rebound there. Sammy Salo gathers the puck in. Burrows screening in front. He's playing with the Sedins in this power play. Salo winds up, passes instead. Might have fooled Daniel Sedin, too. Jay McClement got the puck by Bieksa, racing shorthanded. Salo comes back. Luongo makes the save, but it was Sammy Salo that forced the outside shot. Kevin Bieksa trapped at the line, and Salo had to get on his horse.
Well, Millie, not really much from Clement to get, but off of the draw, Sedin comes in, grabs that loose puck, and I think his first instinct is to pass the puck here. He's looking if he can give it back to Burrows, and that little hesitation cost him some time and the ability to get that open spot. Nice job of Mason getting over and making the play.
David Perron standing. Now he's back on the ice. The teams are 5-on-5 again in the late stages of the first period. The Canucks got 2 shots on Chris Mason on that power play. They have the lead. A flip in, Mason Raymond races onto it, but he can't settle the puck down. He was there in time to do something, but the puck wouldn't settle down. Raymond with Wellwood and Bernier against McDonald, Boys, and Keith Tkachuk. Vermilion, Alberta native Jeff Wojciechowski, former Red Deer Rebel. Carlo Koliakovo to center. Andy McDonald right on the stick. McClement shoots up high, missed the net. You'll hear Jay McClement's name a lot in this series. Andy Murray really likes safe players like that, and he plays them a lot.
That was a good stick by Alexander Edler, getting over and getting that a little bit of a piece on that. So the shot went up and over the net.
There's an icing call. First of the game as the Blues dump the puck in from their own side of the ice, and Andy Murray won't like that because you can't match after an icing call.
Jim, one of the big seasons for Ryan Kesler. He's done everything for this team, voted the MVP. He's been able to score goals, but in this early part of the game, it's been his defensive play and penalty killing, especially on that 5-on-3, 3 block shots already in the first period.
Last playoff he was in, he got 1 game in 07, and he blocked a shot and broke a finger. Steen comes in against his former teammate Matt Sundin and wins the draw. Barrett Jackman clears the puck, and St. Louis will get the change it wants. Here's Matt Sundin. Can't find Ryan Kesler. David Backes to Roman Polak. Barrett Jackman on the stick of B.J. Pombeen. Can't get the puck to Backes. It's turned over. Dimitra pushed over by Brad Winchester as he dumped the puck in. Matthias Olin from center fires the puck in. Winchester to center, and that'll just about do it in this period. Brad Winchester and Darcy Hordichuk eye to eye as the fourth lines eye each other. Ryan Johnson was in the middle of this as well, and Barrett Jackman, and there's a tackle as the period came to an end.
I think it's going to be Johnson who goes, and he's going to go by himself. We saw the call earlier on Keith Tkachuk in a similar circumstance at the end of that 5-on-3. And a bad penalty to take at the end of a pretty good period for the Vancouver Canucks.
Ryan Johnson just came into that pileup and threw Dan Heinold to the ice.
Give your balls a tug, you fucking pussy.
There'll be lots of time to settle this out. Lots of time to talk as this series wears on. The shots on goal in the first period were 9-8 in favor of St. Louis. Lots of power plays. Only 1 goal. That from Daniel Sedin at 10:03. Coast to Coast with Kelly Rudy, Ron McLean, Mike Milbury coming up on Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. Welcome back to General Motors Place in Vancouver at Hockey Night in Canada. The first game of the Western Conference quarterfinal between the St. Louis Blues and Vancouver Canucks. Canucks wanted to play the St. Louis Blues at 5-on-5, but they haven't been able to do it very much because of that little melee at the end of the first period. St. Louis has come out of this with a power play, and Darcy Hordichuk and Ryan Johnson are gone. Both have been given 10-minute misconducts as well, and Brad Winchester is off for St. Louis. So it's the 4th power play of the game, including a minute 42 of 5-on-3 for St. Louis. Willie Mitchell is back for the puck. Brad Boyes right on him with Tkachuk and McDonald, along with Koliakovo and TJ Oshie on the power play, and Oshie just kept the puck in. Salo took a hit. Willie Mitchell cleared the puck, and he got a favorable bounce to get the puck by Oshie.
Like the boys were talking about in studio, it doesn't really matter what you've been during the regular season. This St. Louis power play, 7th in the league. It's what you do in the postseason and what you do under pressure. And right now they've looked a little bit out of sync, especially on that 5-on-3.
Andy McDonald held the puck in along the boards. Matthias Olin just pushed it ahead with his stick for Kevin Bieksa, and he cleared it. Sedin twins, Daniel and Henry, part of the penalty killing unit now. TJ Oshie. Shoot in, and he'll go after the puck himself. He's right after Olin, who got there first. Oshie went down. Patrick Berglund along the boards, tried to feed the puck to the point. Kesler knocked it down, couldn't clear it. Oshie to David Perron to the blue line. Wojciechowski's shot. Luongo the save. Loose puck cleared by Matthias Olin.
And that's one where Backes was in good position, Jim. He just couldn't get to that puck quick enough. And Roberto Luongo just tried to fight that one and get that rebound out past the pressure and was able to do so.
Another puck